our silence has value if there is attention. And attention, first attention we need is on the soul. And we see soul as distinct. It is not extension of Prashant. Soul is independent. We see this as invisible presence. And for the awake soul or the invisible soul, it is normal to be immortal. It belongs to that sky, belongs to that family of souls. Invisible soul is the invisible traveler. And for him, the whole physical world, including this gathering and Prashant, it is all part of the story down below. Invisible traveler has no intention to create any attachment in that story. He sees it as absurd, even to create any desire in it. He is very aware of his exit. That is the invisible traveler. He is more interested in his sky. This world, the story world, is great as a story, but he doesn't want to get trapped. He sees creating ego based on those story characters is extreme absurdity. Thank you. The subject of accuracy, like right now we are talking about soul awareness, and soul, either you are a soul or you are not a soul. So if we have understood we are soul, then there is no reason ever to mix the soul awareness with things of the drama, like Prashant. Prashant is an entity within the drama. Not mixing, that itself is necessary accuracy for our practice. What can happen in a bhakti tradition with those sanskaras? We say soul, soul, but it is all mixed up with the role. My soul, I soul. But we are all meaning the drama character. And that's where we are emphasizing accuracy. So we are coming to the subject of God today. And I'll come to the board Our whole game is around understanding because our problem is huge confusion. That's why first thing we are reminding ourselves is that there is a soul. Why are we reminding this? Because ordinarily soul is not even conscious. The confusion has reached such a point that he is not even conscious that he exists. The crossing this line is that he is in that state of being unconscious. And when the soul is unconscious, ego runs the show. So soul is traveling through this, and when he's traveling through the drama, he has become unconscious. Crossing that line is coming into ignorance, crossing the dotted blue line. If the soul becomes conscious, in 1 second, it is just like someone comes out of the dream and then he understands the waking reality. So also here, the waking reality is life in the world of immortality. He has a home, secure home. All these things are big, not to be rushed. Like here, everyone is worried about death and what will happen to the virus and what will happen to someone else. It's so absurd because everyone is immortal. And what are they worried about? One who is awake, he knows of this immortality of everyone. Everyone is noble. Noble means no desires even. Nothing inauspicious. Ravan free region. That means a lot. Ravan with his vibrations, because each head of Ravan has vibration of desire, disappointment, comparison, competition, anxiety. All this is going on in each head. One head has greed, one head has some attachment, such complexity. Come in this world, and everyone is immortal. They know they are immortal. They don't even need anything. And so what remains is silent bliss and innocence and loveliness and loving. That's why celestial dance, silent dance, but each soul is like this, godlike and childlike. So we are seeing this reality of all of us. If we were awake, that would be our awareness that there is this real world, and then you are seeing this physical world also as a great gift. Nicely mentioned in spiritual writings. They win the sky, they also win the earth. So they win. Before that, the sky did not even exist. Now they realize they have this great home, and they also find the physical world. Every moment is a gift. For a drama, to have such a paraphernalia, nothing spared. Every detail, everything is there for a drama. So there is no complaint about this extra gift. That is the way they see when they are awake. Now let us see the subject of God. ordinarily we may be better to even avoid the word God. But if we have to use that word, it is used for one who is in truth. That is a good starting position of God. One girl, I asked her, she was talking about God, some religious person. I asked, who is God? And she said, she's a student in some Cambridge University. And she said, someone higher. And that is very nice description. Someone higher. Higher in some area is higher. So here God is higher but highest. And the one who is in truth. That is a good starting position. Anyone comes in truth, then they will, of course, know themselves at least who they are. And the one who is in truth will know the story as story. Crossing this dotted blue line is into ignorance. Then you don't even know story as story. So God is nice for us to know, because religions creates such a complex image of God that it becomes completely different, takes us into another street. And there are as many ideas of God as there are human beings, maybe. We had a event in Cambridge University with the head of the head of the Jewish synagogue in London, head of the Christian religion, retired Archbishop of Canterbury. He's a master in one of the colleges in Cambridge and head of Muslim religion. And one student asked, who is God? And they were trying to avoid that subject, and some vague answers. So here, a good starting position for us is God is one who is in truth, who knows truth, and when he has knowledge, if there is knowledge in him, the most important knowledge is about the creation, about the drama. Drama is a drama, drama is a story. Now it will not be just an information, like some professor. And, for him, it will be knowing, not as, so whether you call it sure or conviction or something that is obvious for him, whatever word we use. Like for you, there is a chair in front of you. You know it's a chair. It is not just one concept, but you are going to sit on that chair. In the same way, for one who is the highest, if he says this is the story, if he says this is the drama, then it is a drama. It means full stop. You are not going to have any questions about it. There are no complaints about it. There is nothing to worry about, anything there. It's a drama. You are seeing it as entertainment. Now, God, if he has this knowledge, then it means a lot. When human beings are all so caught up, their whole life is going into questions, complaints, confusion, criticism. They are all caught in the drama. Whereas here Someone understands this is a story and it has got a script and nothing matters. There are so many stories. Mind becomes 100% free. We saw yesterday that 100% of sorrows in the world are connected with this box. 100% of vices, 100% of ego. If someone understood, in an obvious way, that this is a story, then there will be zero sorrow, zero desires in that story, zero vices, and zero ego. No one creates attachments or ego in a story. Now, this is in the Baba sometimes says, Jivan Mukti in 1 second. You can achieve this big thing in 1 second. When we were talking about story, Ram, Sita, we saw Maya says it's a long process, and Ram says it's 1 second. Big achievements. The moment you realize this is a story, it has power to make you viceless in a very, very short time. Because you realize it is mad to create any level of, bondage in a story. Now that means you are connected now to the reality behind. One who is free from this, he now gets connected. Mind is free to be in the real world. So he discovers the depth of this real world. And this is useful for us. Our meditation is this. So he finds the peace of the home. For him, peace, it is, he finds the silence of this home, the light of this home. Every aspect of this home becomes very, very clear. It becomes sweet. It is silence, but it is a sweet silence. It is light, but it appears divine light because he is in it. So we are showing here the difference between concept and an experience. There are many professors who even this understanding that there is a home and this is a drama. This is not unique. If you read philosophy, there are these concepts in philosophy that we are here, travelers, we are actors. These concepts are there. If there is any difference, it is in this. They are scholars. They say this is one model and this is another model. This philosopher said this and this philosopher said this. Whereas for the Supreme Being, he lives in that home. It is not just another philosophy. That is his world. He belongs there. For him, everyone else is like him. They are all souls. That is obvious and normal. All are immortal. This is normal. He lives with this. And as a result, he knows everyone, their starting position. They are immortal. They are desireless. They are sorrowless. They are egoless. They are viceless. They are worthy of greatest love. They belong to him. This is his life and this is what he experiences. Difference between Ram and Sita. What's the difference between Ram and Sita? Sita crosses the line. Ram never crosses the line. So Sita is the one who can be deceived. Ram cannot be deceived. That's the difference. Ram is always in truth. So it means he experiences this reality forever. If anyone has such freedom from this story, then mind has zero drop of sorrow. And if you have zero sorrow, your bliss, it becomes infinite. Your peace becomes infinite. Your happiness, contentment, it all becomes infinite. That's why God is described as ocean of bliss, ocean of peace, ocean of love. And of course, he lives in truth. That's why he could experience all this. Also, purity means, of course, he cannot be deceived by Ravan. Ravan is representing impurity in all forms, desires, degradation. That is Ravan. And Ram doesn't cross that line even. And that's why, you know, purity. So that is his personality. In what way does it matter to us? Agreed, God is so wonderful. There's there are many people in this world so wonderful. So what? So what? In what way does it affect us? Should I pray to Him, and why? Should I ask Him for some gold or forgiveness? And that is what the whole different traditions are. God, you ask something or pray to Him or praise Him. Here, the emphasis is you are not asking anything from Him, but you are staying in a state where you try to know what He knows. You want to grasp that personality in yourself. You want to see what He's seeing, how He's seeing. You want to know what He knows. You want to see what He sees. You want to think what He thinks. And you want to feel what He feels. That is your program. It is not the light. His sole point. Okay, we can create a light. We can have a photograph of a big, specially made painting of God. Oh, nothing wrong. That is all. You can make a special room and call it meditation room. Everything is good. But your mind, can you grasp this personality? And what is the personality? One who is higher, who is the highest. One who is in truth always. Highest in this truth. One who knows how he sees. He sees it and he tells it blatantly that this is a story. And he knows of the world beyond. So that is his perspective. And you are trying to grasp this, how he sees, what he knows. Just as in this world, there are some people who see the world differently. Like Gandhi, he saw very differently, even the politics and all, completely different. So people are trying to see, well, how does he see? Even today, in some other countries, parliaments, they say, how would Gandhi see this situation? How would he solve this? Because his perspectives were very different to anyone else's. So also here, you are seeing, how does God see? There is now coronavirus, some pandemic going on, and there may be some war declared. How does God see this? And how does something happen? Someone is unfair, injustice, someone is robbing. How does God see this? So you are trying to know what He knows, His model, His angle. You know, not everyone says even will even agree that this is a story, but God He sees it as a story. Full stop. As I said, if it is a story, there is zero complaint, zero questions. Why someone said this? Why zero? That's the story. Zero, you know, concerns, zero criticisms. You're 100% free. Just you clap and go home. So we are now understanding what is this personality of God. Now you are realizing this is a very, very supreme personality, because someone who is staying in this space of truth, always soul conscious, always paras, he is now wisest. The personality is the wisest. He becomes holiest because Ravan is not there. No trace of Ravan, no ignorance, no trace of sorrow, no trace of desire. It is the holiest. He becomes the highest because everyone else crosses the line. So he naturally remains the highest. He remains the richest. He makes others kings and purifies others. But he has the richest, the biggest treasures are of bliss and love and peace. These are the ultimate treasures. He is experiencing these treasures. Power. So he is the richest and he is the loveliest because he is absolute. In a world, he is the embodiment of what is good in the world. Embodiment. Just like Ravan is embodiment of deception and degradation. Embodiment. You know, sorrow, more desires, arrogance. Ravan is embodiment. Ram is the embodiment of what is good. Now the law is that if you are just thinking of anyone, say if you are thinking of some person who is angry kind of person, those thoughts, feelings of anger, maybe even 1% will come within you. You are trying to feel what he is feeling. If you are watching a film, someone is getting angry or someone is feeling jealous, you will get at least 1% of those feelings. That's you get gradually pulled into it. If there is a shown on the scene, whatever is going on, you know that it is just a story, but you get experience, you get those feelings, and it pollutes you also. It is not just you got a feeling of anger, you will get it is gone in the soul. Now, if you are thinking, if you are, they have shown, you just show photograph of Mother Teresa to someone, and their brain chemistry changes. Just show some photographs of some people of history, and so you get some different chemicals in the brain. So here you are going to the highest and the wisest and the holiest and the richest and loveliest, the supreme personality. You are not just saying it as just as words, but you are understanding what exactly he's experiencing. You are coming in that feelings, how he sees things, what he knows, why he's the wisest, what knowledge he has, why he is holiest, why he is richest. You are experiencing this greatness. And as you are doing this experience is happening within you, the soul. It 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 grows within you. So we call this yoga. Yoga means you are tuned in. You are uh, capturing that personality, and that grows. So here you are not just praising him, that is also good, but you are seeing how he sings. You are feeling what he feels. The aim is for you to become like him. That is soul consciousness. Just like he is Paras, you have to become Paras. He is fully soul conscious, you have to become soul conscious. Children become adults because of the company of adults. And they also pick up the quality of adults, those who are of the similar kind. What I mean is, if they are adults around them are robbers, they will become robbers. They will pick up that style. They will grow in that direction. If they are around people who are thinking in a certain way, it becomes their model of life. If they are with merchants, they will pick up the quality of the merchant. So here you are going for the best, not just slightly better, but the best.
How do we get to that level of uh, s- seeing what God sees and being how God is? Only is it only by remembrance, or uh, that is first step, but trying to be in remembrance stage in this practical life seems a bit difficult because um, how to achieve it? I always wonder that.
Okay. Our whole program is 1 minute program. Starts Everything starts with this. Choose 1 minute and say, during this minute, let me grasp this. What does this paras mean? Someone who is parasnath, always paras. How will he say it? Someone who is so sure that he is that uh, invisible, immortal in the presence and doesn't need anything from this story. What will he feel? What will be his thoughts in any situation? You try to tune in to this perspective, and just for 1 minute, that's fine. You get another minute, but let that minute be a quality minute. You are not doing anything else during that. Go in the depth of this experience, and its effect will last a long time. Let us start again with a few moments of silence. And during these minutes, we come straight to our home. And here we see two stars with the backdrop of many stars. We are amazed how the self He's in the image of just a point. It is this tiny point. He's that traveler. He's the one who has plans and hopes and needs patience. He's the one who experiences love and happiness. The main thing, this point. And he belongs to this family of God, also in the image of a point. The highest and one who is worshipped by the whole world. He is in the image of a tiny point, just like anyone else. And we see that he is the wisest. He's wisest, holiest, highest. He knows the story, a story. He knows this whole entire physical world for what it is in an obvious way. Knows that this is now the last episode of this story. Knows the home as home. He lives in that home. He knows of his own immortality. He knows of this great family of souls. Knows they are like him. And that they belong to him. He knows of this eternal bond. In this bond, there is immense love, but there is wisdom, there is recognition, there is carefree attitude because all are beyond harm. Story cannot harm anyone, ever. As we continue on our journey, we remember our beautiful truth. We aim to come back to this experience again and again. Thank you. In our discussion, we are coming to some details. What happens during our journey through the drama. And in this half an hour, we are going to see a beautiful sociological model. How the society is made. But we are seeing a spiritual model. What happens to the soul during this journey? We saw, in a simple model, And when we draw this, we say here is a great story, and the soul is passing through this. It appears, oh yes, he passes through. But our journey from the when we enter and when we come out, it has more details. Lots happening during this journey through the drama. So we are going to see the details of this. This knowledge says we go through different phases, and that's what we are going to see. One phase is called the Brahmin phase. And each of these phases, we might call them clans, each of these phases has its own energy. Like when we are in the Brahmin phase, the person has love for knowledge. This is his main thing in life. He wants knowledge. He will be in libraries, bookshops. He knows where the best books are. As a result of this, his life is there is cleanliness. Larger culture of one who is in the Brahmin phase, there will be cleanliness, internal, external cleanliness. There will be simplicity. Renunciation is very easy for him. And these are natural instincts. You will see in every village on this planet, people in different religions, you will see there are some people who gravitate towards this. They want to read, they want to understand. There is a simplicity in their life. They have got something to do with God. They see God as a symbol of knowledge, truth. So they want to know God. They will have some kind of a worship towards God. They have a spirit of community service. So you will find in your village, in your town, that some people naturally they are doing things. They create opportunities for education. They will create some social activities, but there is the intention to uplift, to educate, to pay attention to the hygiene. Say in this present world where there is some pandemic going on, they will be thinking how to help in the community, what they can do, in what way they can intervene, whether the children's, so they got spirit of service. But the main quality of a Brahmin is love for knowledge. That defines the Brahmin. No one stays in one phase forever. Brahmin leads the next level, and that is called a deity. So first is the Brahmin, we said. Then comes the deity. Deity, the energy of the deity is happiness. They do everything with happiness. Take happiness, give happiness. It also means they do not take sorrow. Even under provocation, they do not take sorrow. They don't give sorrow. Their life is dealing with happiness. So if you ask them, do you want to come to, middle of the night, you ask them, shall we go for a walk? They say, great, yes, sure. And you say, can you wash these 10 pots? They will do it with happiness. So energy is happiness. Under provocation, they do not go into sorrow. Sorrow includes boredom or complaint or criticism. So deities are perfect men. That's the highest state of the man. And as a result, everyone would love to have deities, those who are in that phase, as your friends. No one will have complaint. To those who are in the deity phase, there won't be any complaint. They stay in that space naturally. They uplift others. So someone in the deity phase, says uh, someone in his life, he has done 10 wrong things, one right thing. He sees the right thing. Someone has 10 defects, one virtue. He sees the virtue. And as a result, he says, everyone is good. He is happy. He says, everyone is nice. After the deity, the next phase is called the warrior phase. So when we are in the warrior phase, this energy of happiness is lost. So we go to the next best, and that is courage, energy. So when we are in this level, things are done with the next best energy, that is courage, not happiness. May I ask what has changed between the deity and the warrior? What is the change?
Not soul conscious?
Not soul conscious, okay.
Deities are not violent, warriors are violent.
Sure,
Change in understanding because the degrees go down.
sure. One word we can say, attachment.
He's driving.
Say it again.
I'm saying the warrior is striving and the deity is already there.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah, good. And at the deeper level, you remember that spiral, downward spiral. And deity has created the attachment. And once you enter into attachment, then fear comes. So that's why you need courage. And that highest happiness, supersensuous happiness, that is becoming less because now you got another energy of losing things. So the shift has taken place. Even though we are using the word warrior, it doesn't mean they are fighting. It is the energy of courage, and this presents in the form of adventure, risk taking, competition, but it may take the form of they want to dominate and they may fight. They are ready to fight also. So they are in that phase. Like you will see, if you see history, there are people. Can you imagine this country, England, most of the time freezing temperature, and from here they sail across, and rule the world from here. They have to build the sailing boats and in different weathers. They go to other countries and not just go sightseeing and come back. They establish themselves and rule there. What a miracle. So this is like a warrior energy. In a warrior, they have this attitude of courage, adventure, risk taking. They could die also, and they did die, but still they do that. After warrior is the merchant. When you are in a merchant phase, what has happened? Even more attachments. So because of these more attachments, now adventure is not their priority. They don't want to go to the North Pole. They don't want to discover something, competition. That is not they want to play safe. So they build a big fence, lots of food, and stay behind that. So the best thing is they choose a trade like in a merchant trade. You can rule, but buy my computers. This is like their position. So they are not going for big things. Because there are so many attachments. In that warrior, already there were attachments. But now merchant, he has got family, children, grandchildren, cat, dog, banks, mortgage, television, and they have to pay these bills and license. So going to the North Pole is not their priority. So they look for a life that has got some comfort. Those who are in the merchant phase, they like food a lot. So that is one of their tendency. They want to eat more. Usually they are fat and they want to show off their wealth. Money is very important for a warrior, for a merchant. For a warrior, weapon, they literally worship weapon, warrior. Brahmins will worship books, scriptures, and knowledge. They literally may worship it. Warrior will worship a weapon. Merchant will worship money. Warrior may go to Mount Everest, but he goes to Mount Everest out of fun, not to show to others. He likes walking, he likes climbing. He doesn't tell anyone that he went to Mount Everest. He may be going to Mount Everest every day after breakfast, but he enjoys his life. It is fun. I'm talking about deity. Deity will go to Mount Everest out of fun. It is not to show to others. Deity enjoys going to Mount Everest. Life is happiness. Warrior will go to Mount Everest and will put a flag there. He has to be on the Mount Everest before anybody else. You understand? So deity do it with happiness. Do it because he enjoys walking, enjoys climbing. Deity life is that. Warrior life, he is in competition. He wants to be on Everest before you. He wants to tell others, wow, I did this climbing on Everest, because he has used different energy, courage. So that is the warrior. Merchant. How will the merchant go to Mount Everest?
To collect food.
With his food?
To
Probably
collect,
do
right?
business there also.
Go for a picnic.
Open shops there.
Yeah, probably
He
go
may
for doing business there.
Selling maps.
Watching a
may
film.
ride through a helicopter and then put it on Facebook to show off the wealth.
Yes.
He wants to own the Mount Everest.
Yes. Yeah. Merchant will not go to Mount Everest, but he will sell tickets. He will arrange groups. He will make the tours. He will not take a risk of some discomfort of climbing the Everest. So that is merchant. And after merchant comes the next phase. It is a Shudra phase. Yeah, what we are talking here, each soul goes through these different phases. Each soul, there is a time in the phase of the soul, he goes through the Brahmin phase. During that time, he has love for knowledge. Then he comes in the deity phase. There is perfection, his own perfection. There is happiness. Those who are in the deity phase, they are lucky also. Things become easy. They are all even born in a good family, good life, easy life. They are lucky at many levels. Even health is easy. Even if they get health problems, they're easy to treat. Then warrior phase, maybe many births also. They may spend many births in the deity phase, many births in the warrior phase. And warrior, gradually you are losing. There is a purer warrior to start with, and then it becomes impure warrior. Then come in the merchant phase. So this warrior energy is lost. They are in the next best. They're not looking for comfort, showing their wealth. You go to the house of a Brahmin, you will see simplicity, cleanliness, books, slogans, something inspiring. The talk will be about some latest things they have read, knowledge. That will be the atmosphere. You go to the house of a deity, natural perfection. Everything seems right. Everything, not expense, more taste, less expense. But everything is naturally perfection. Warrior, you might see the skin of a tiger somewhere, or some ancestral swords or guns. Their birthday will be celebrated with 21 gun salute. That is warrior. Go to the house of a merchant, there will be lots of expense, less taste. Because the intellect is now getting bit, losing it. Deity, they are rich in heart, rich in head. Merchant, you are losing. So lots of expense, lots of glitter, lots of shining things. They want to show their gold, but less taste. Now Shudra, what is happening at a Shudra level? There is laziness. All the energies are running out. So laziness of the head presents as dullness. So if you tell anything very precious, it gets distorted. So the intellect is patthar, stone intellect. At the same time, Ravan is getting bigger. All the 10 heads of Ravan are big. So there is indulgence. He wants his cigarettes and he wants his next hit. One after the other. Chewing gum. What next? Okay, let us watch some video. What next? Eat something. What next? So this is Shudra, the hits they call it. Shudra life. Shudra will not go to Mount Everest, but he will watch on television someone else climbing whilst having his coffee. So you go to the house of a Shudra, it is opposite of a Brahmin. Brahmin, there will be cleanliness. Shudra, it is opposite. Laziness and unclean, degradation, indulgence. That is what Shudra. What is after Shudra?
Demon.
Yes, after Shudra comes demon. So what we are seeing here is virtually opposite of what is happening at a deity level. Deity level life is happiness, no matter what. What under provocation, they remain happy. Demon life is sorrow, no matter what. Even if everyone is giving them, they will distort it. They will interpret things. They are paranoid. If someone has 10 virtues, one defect, they see the defect. They completely ignore everything else. That is the life of a demon. Take sorrow, give sorrow, no matter what. Deity, take happiness, give happiness, no matter what. Now, what is important for us is to see that if we want to have a perfect society, let's say if we take a cross section of any society, any city, you will see there are some percentage Brahmins, some percentage deities, some percentage warriors, Shudras. We will get this percentage. That little shift of percentage changes the dynamics of a society. You will see there is a huge difference between some city like Copenhagen or Helsinki, and you go to some city in some other part of the planet. you will see a big difference on the roads, traffic, behavior, how people treat each other. Huge difference. And difference just because in one place there are more deities, another place more Shudra. It changes the dynamics. It is not because of the wealth. You can bring wealth. Let's say there is a society where there are more Shudras and the demons. And let us say in that city they find gold and diamonds. Will it create heaven? No. With those diamonds, they will buy more guns. They want more diamonds of the neighbor also. So he will say, this is a good method to, if we buy guns, he can get more diamonds. So he will create hell. They all will do this, and it will become bigger hell. If the society, there are more Brahmins and the deities, if people are at this level in any society, they don't need gold, they don't need diamonds. They will create heaven. Because mind is different. They love deities, but they see the greatness of everyone. They stay in that space of love and full stop. They want to give the best to others. And there's a dance, true dance, silent dance. Heart has that authentic love and respect. You get heaven. So if you want to create a perfect world, the idea here is create a deity society. Like different parties, political parties have got different ideas. They all want to have a perfect world. Boris is talking about golden age. Now people might think golden age just means what, Brexit or something, that is golden age. Someone else might say more technology, that is golden age, or more from wine, that is golden age. Here the idea of perfect world is mind. Get the minds right. People are in the deity phase, then you get a golden age. To start with, they will be happy in themselves. They enjoy their own company and they are a good company to others. Authentic, rich in head, rich in heart. So that is a great aim, to create a deity society. How? The Brahmin is a student life. We can't create deities, even for oneself. You can't say, from today I'm going to be a deity. We cannot do that. But anyone can become a student if they want. Brahmin is a student life. No one likes to become a demon. Demon, we are talking about sorrow, taking sorrow. Even demons don't want to be there. But Shudra is a preparation, demon is a result. One who is in the Shudra phase, this life of indulgence, and whatever Ravan wants, he gets it. People might think that is not bad. Government is making it easy people to buy chocolates, buy alcohol, buy cigarettes. Government also gets some profit in that. So government doesn't say stop any of these things. And so Shudra says, this is just my personal life. Maybe it is agreed, it is not good for the body and I may be harming myself, but personal life. So no one else can argue with Shudra. And it is true, he may not be harming anyone else, but the demon is getting bigger. He is feeding demon. Even the smallest thing, you are feeding the demon. And demon is getting bigger. So down the line, in next birth, they will be bigger. Ravan is bigger. Like in a society, taking example of London and maybe in many cities, children, we are talking about those who are in less than 16 years of age, children. They carry knives in their schools. They are going to school with a knife. And what knife? These are knives meant for attack, to harm others. In some schools, teachers are taught not to be strict with the students. Report to the head teacher, but you don't get into confrontation because the students have got knives. So where did this come from? This was not happening a generation earlier, and this is happening. What is we are seeing is the sanskaras. We are promoting Shudras. And it is not going to disappear. Whatever is done in a Shudra, their souls, in an adult, they are sort of promoting Shudra. And then demon is becoming bigger. In the next life, you see this demon tendency from childhood. And so the society goes towards degradation. You want to say anything? What happens after demon?
There are a couple of questions that have come up.
I will complete this.
Sure.
After demon is the Brahmin again. So that's why it is a circle. Eternal soul. It is not forever you are going down, but after we go to our own lowest, sorrow is something that makes us question. Giving sorrow is one thing, but taking sorrow, it makes us question. We go to our own lowest and then we bounce back. We realize we have to change. And then the Brahmin phase starts again. And when we are in the Brahmin phase, then it is like a complete reversal. One thing we have to do when we are in the Brahmin phase, make it clean Brahmin, not mix it with Shudra. Shudra phase is life of dullness and laziness. Brahmin is just opposite. No indulgence. You are trustee of the body and using the time in a worthwhile way. Different game, Brahmin. If the Brahmin phase is strong, the deity phase will last longer. So it will be stronger and longer. One has to go through all the phases, but for some, deity phase will last longer, and then they will go nominally pass through other phases and come back in the Brahmin phase. If the Brahmin phase is weak, the deity phase will be shorter and weaker, and then one will spend more time into other phases, maybe as a merchant longer. So when we are here, Brahmin time, it is a wisdom, another level of wisdom, to make it strong so that the deity phase lasts long. Yes, I'm ready for questions.
Oh, I was just wondering about the warrior phase. I was thinking, if they are warriors, are they actually fighting with their own sanskars?
No, it is, as we said, even though the word warrior is used, their energy is of courage. So you will see in our society, there are people who are courageous, they are sort of like to do courageous things. Adventure is a big thing. They're typical, they sort of, nothing is difficult for them. Bungee jumping, no problem. They will sort of do things. Not everyone feel like doing things like this, but those who are in the warrior phase, they have that energy of risk taking. we are using it with that meaning.
How to help support the Shudra phase, and especially since we're in that phase now, or this one sees that we're deeply in that phase at the moment. How can we support, not support, but how can we reduce or lessen?
For others, huh? You are
For the self and for others, yeah.
You know what, the best way to deal with the Shudra tendency is to promote the Brahmin opportunities. Getting involved with the knowledge, taking knowledge, giving knowledge, sharing knowledge. Choose company that is dealing with Brahmin. Keep the busy. This is the nice part. Keeping yourself busy with Ram, then there is no time for Ravan to come in. Shudra works for Ravan.
In one life, we experience everything. I mean, sometimes we are Brahmin, sometimes warrior, sometimes merchant, and then become Shudra, then demon, and then bounce back again. I mean, this is what I think, that we experience in one life, all these stages. Thank you.
Yeah, it may appear sometimes that we may be having different tendencies, but this is like a journey of the soul. And when we are seeing, if our own complete lifeline over many births, then we will be very typical, in the deity phase, and another time warrior. We will be very, very proper in these different phases. But at the present time, even though we may feel there is some of the warrior, some of the tendencies, that is dominant. One quality will be dominant. Say 3 people you meet, they all will have different priorities. Even though they may like you everything, but there is a bottom line. They have one priority. Like an example. Say one day there is a football match going on. And there is some very, very necessary, useful seminar going on. You can take part in this discussion. And there is football match. And there is a party. Free alcohol party. So one who is one person will say, yes, I would like all these 3, but my priority is I want to be for the football match. No compromise. Another person will say, no, the party is more important. This doesn't happen often. I can always watch these other things on television or something. So he will move to party. He might like to go for the talk and the seminar, but if party is cancelled, so he will give his name, he will wait until the last moment. If party is really going on, if the party is cancelled, then he will come. One who is in the Brahmin phase, his priority will be different. There's no question. So that sort of shows, even though we may have various tendency, there is a driving energy of one kind. And we move from one phase to the next phase. That happens.
I'm just trying to think if one who's at the Brahmin phase, let's say who's knowledgeable or who has got a thirst for knowledge, books, reading, and all those sort of things. But it may happen that if someone has got that interest, plus creates the pride of having that knowledge or being knowledgeable, then how can we express in this category? So that person may not be a Brahmin, but has got a quality of Brahmins, but also has the pride or kind of ego that I'm knowledgeable. Let's say, as Prashant has given an example, where there are three events at the same time. Let's say any spiritual seminar, a football match, and a party. So that Brahmin would go for a seminar, but at the same time may have a pride that yes, I have chosen this the highest one out of all two. So how can we relate that person during these stages? Thank you.
The Brahmin phase is a student life, and in the student life, you are bound to, every one of us, me and you, we will get this. Side streets, new ego will come, new form of Maya will come. But then they learn. Student mean they are observing it. They are learning. They want to be told. They're happy if someone draws their attention. They're happy. And then they grow further, and they are able to get deeper experiences of soul consciousness. So it's the student life. And within this, there are numbers, of course. We said game with Maya, there is a score. If someone gets 100% score, he gets 100% prize. Deity phase will be very strong and will last longer. If someone gets 50% score, then the prize will be different. But Brahmin is a student life, and more sincere he is, more serious he is in this game, and he wants to win. He doesn't want to justify ego. Then the score is more. Still, it's the Brahmin phase.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
I have a question. In the student life, one tends to shift between these stages, like deity, warrior, merchant, shudra, and come back to student life again. Is that normal? I just had a question.
It is normal.
Okay.
The journey of the soul over many births, everyone goes through these phases. We all have been warriors at different time in our past lives. We have been merchants and shudras and deities. Everyone has gone through these phases. So now is the time we are, whole society is reaching the lower end of the spiral. So it is the phase of big change. So more and more will move into the student life because pain is going to increase. We saw yesterday it is not going to stop just with corona virus. It is the time for Vinash forces are going to come. So all of that forces people to be student and serious student. And so that is the next phase of the journey. For anyone who has this ability, interest in the Brahmin, it is the highest thing. We are showing Brahmin as a higher than even the deity, because those who are in the Brahmin, they create deities in themselves and others. That's why Brahmin uplifts the society. That's why it is shown as the top. There's a huge privilege. But when we are in that phase, we have to make it strong.
Thank you, sir. I have another question. So, Brahmin student life or otherwise Brahmin life has this quality of service. So, how do uh, what is the highest level of service one can indulge in? how can we attain that? What is the way to do that service, and what is that service? I would like to know. Will you please explain?
The highest service will be serving the actor as opposed to serving the character. So there is drama, Cinderella drama, any drama, say, and we give different examples. Let us say Robert is acting in a drama as a camel, and John is acting in a drama as elephant, and there's a drama. In our confusion, we want to help camel and elephant. All emphasis is at that level, to help camel and help elephant. We completely ignore that there is Robert and John behind this drama. They may be hungry and they may be thirsty, or they may be having some real problem. We don't even know he exists. So intelligent intervention. Everyone is helping, but when there is intelligent intervention, results are bigger. Say someone has an illness, and everyone is giving, or they want to do the operation also. But if someone has got an intelligent insight into what is happening, sometimes one tablet, it cures the whole thing. But it has to be intelligent. So here, the intelligent intervention is you are realizing that there is John and Robert behind this, and you are seeing what they need. And that help fixes everything. So here, the actors are invisible actors. Invisible souls are the invisible travelers, and they are the invisible actors. So as you become soul conscious, you are realizing there are actors here, and your attention is at that level. You're realizing they are themselves need to first become conscious first. So your service then is different quality. It so happens when that is put right, everything gets put right. You create golden age. But in the journey of the soul also, if he becomes soul conscious, his future also changes in a big way at all levels.
So Prashant, do people do they tend to move? So say you're a Brahmin, would you maybe move to places like Cambridge where lots of people are studying and searching for knowledge? Or, like you mentioned Copenhagen earlier, I've been there once and everyone was really lovely and helpful and you didn't feel scared. Whereas sometimes you feel scared in places. Do people tend to move, like gravitate? Or it's just because you live amongst more people like that it changes to being more Brahmins, for example, in that area, or more Shudras, or more merchants? Like in America, there's a bit more obesity and stuff. And I know that's coming in England now too. Well, and France. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What we are saying here is the soul is the ultimate. Each soul has a journey. So even in the midst of all, atmosphere in a family, there may be everyone, atmosphere of learning and education. And one person wants to be Shudra. He got nothing to do with any of these books. He says, why are they talking? He wants to be Shudra. He will choose his company. So our past life influences in a big way what we are doing in the present. And present will influence the future in a sense.
So will the Shudra person move? They'll move to somewhere where there's more Shudra people, do you think?
Yes. Yeah. You will choose that company.
Yeah.
As this categorization, Brahmin, deity, warriors, and so on, whether these are the categorization for the physical world, or are we thinking these from the soul consciousness? Because at the minute, if I read, if I get the knowledge, that's at the physical level. So whether that is, whether this categorization is related to the soul consciousness, or whether this is related to the physical or material world, so
Sure,
that we can categorize the behavior.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
This is 100% at the level of the soul. Soul goes through different phases and it expresses through the physical, of course. So you will find these words may be used in some cultures as if someone is born in a family. Just straight away he becomes he gets the clan. He is a merchant clan or a Brahmin clan.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Here we are saying in every religion you got these all the clans. Souls are passing through these different phases. In the same family, father may be in the one clan and children can be in a different clan altogether. This is because the souls have their journey, and that's why they will manifest their tendencies right from childhood. This college tendencies will be visible. They will show that they are merchant or they are Shudra, that they will gravitate in that direction. Knowledge, things happen at the drama level, they're informational. But internally, who is making sense of this knowledge? Who wants to be soul conscious? Only the soul. It is all the cognitive functions happen at the soul level. The soul is the one who says, yes, I want to bring about this change. I want to learn this. I want to practice this. And soul brings about transformation.
Okay. Yeah. So in one family, if we got different people who have got these different categories, then is there any way that one can push other in order to elevate themselves?
They create a Brahmin opportunity. And this is the highest thing we can do to the community also, larger society. Our positioning should be broader rather than just few people. So you are creating opportunities. Let them have books, let them have option to understand the knowledge, in a great opportunity in some way to clarify different aspects of knowledge, generate interest. Anyone can become a student. Anywhere they are, they can learn, start becoming a student. As if someone might think I am a merchant at the moment, but he can fast forward and become a student, become a Brahmin. And we offer that opportunity. So this applies to the family also, immediate family.
Okay, thank you.
There's a concept in development called leapfrogging. So it's saying that say in this example, developing countries don't have to go through the same trajectory that say the Western world did in terms of energy or telecommunications. So some countries, they may not go through the landline, but they go straight to mobile. So they don't have to go through that same slow process. Or in creating energy, they don't have to create energy through methods which causes pollution. They go straight to solar. So I like this concept of leapfrogging in this context, because it means that somebody can learn through others' examples and maybe get a fragrance and realize this life is going to lead to sorrow, and maybe they don't need to go heavily into it, and they learn. So I don't know if Prashant wants to comment on that.
Yes, and we give the option. we ourselves need to do this leapfrogging. That not entertain any other tendencies. As you fly, the others fly. Law is like that. One bird flies, second bird flies, whole flock flies. So you understood some aspects, then fly yourself, and then it will make many others fly.
I have one question, which is that we have like two worlds right now. One is a physical world and one is my inner world. And in the physical world, I will have certain roles and responsibilities. Say professionally, you have a certain responsibility and you're playing a certain role. Now, when I become more oriented towards spirituality, I feel sometimes I do not give too much focus or attention or as much energy to the professional side. And I can see others, really going up the professional ladder, and I am okay with them going, but I would probably not strive as much and put in as much effort as they are doing. And probably I'm okay with it also. So I feel, is this also a kind of, I mean, kind of getting away from that physical world, and is this the, I mean, or should we also, go to the highest level at the physical level as well, apart from at the spiritual level?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you. What happens is, right now the boat is sinking. And when the boat is sinking, your priorities are different. When no one knew that boat is sinking, they are all in the party in the boat. They all want cakes, and someone wants a bigger cake, and someone wants a promotion. All this is going on. Some glitter and cakes are going on. When the boat is sinking, your priority is not the promotion. Your priority is not bigger cake. Your priority is to come out of the boat and take others out of the boat. That is your priority. So in this world, someone has this understanding, sees clearly this boat is sinking, and this is not a time to get trapped into this boat more. This is a time to take others out of the boat. So this is your deeper positioning. And so you are doing a job, but you are doing a job for the livelihood, to support your the livelihood, maybe to support your bigger task to help others out of the boat. You are not doing the job just to get a promotion or to prove to others that you are clever or everybody claps, your title. In the past, ego wanted something like this, and that was the whole aim. But now you got a bigger mission. Having said that, sometimes, to if that bigger position or promotion, if that is coming and not interfering with your mission, then you have no problem with it. You are quite happy to do that, but if it is supporting your bigger mission. Does that help? Kimi, you want to add anything?
Just want to know one thing. So, sometimes I personally feel that some other people might be more efficient with what they're doing at the professional level. And maybe I don't have that much efficiency. The position doesn't bother me, but that efficiency could sometimes bother.
Yes,
So,
yes. Those who are becoming free from ego and becoming free from this whole department of vices, they will become better in whatever they are doing. Not necessarily skills are one thing, but you will bring another quality in your department, in your office, in your work. And for example, other people, they got all other interests, and they become not punctual. Whereas those who are in the Brahmin phase, they find it is easy for them to be punctual, and they are ahead of time. That is what they will notice. That you are, whatever you are doing it with efficiency, and you are doing with interest. Whatever you are doing, you are not doing it just to show. So some sparkles. Skills are one thing. We all learn different skills, and some may be naturally good at some skill, but uh, the sparkle in a Brahmin will be different. Just to give you one example, and sometimes it happens in Cambridge also, and in fact, this is one example here. One person, his boss is a lady. She came to us to find out what the other person is doing. How come he is so in control at meetings and various things? He deals with it with such control. He doesn't take offense, and he doesn't try to defend, and he's not defensive, but uplifts the department. And not thinking of himself. What is he doing? So that his boss is a lady. She herself wanted to find out and know more about what he's doing. So these are like new. I don't know whether he was efficient in the skill, but she noticed something else in him. What is God for you? If someone asks you, who is God? You should be able to explain who God is. And so in your own words, own experience, write, who is your supreme friend? And every detail, what is your relationship? Why do you need God? And in what way you are going to, take this relationship with Him, friendship with Him? In what way you are going to sustain this? So these 24 hours are for God.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
It is regarding yesterday. You said to start fresh from the top. So that was a very beautiful thought when I was practicing it yesterday. It was something new for me because usually I've been doing meditation like from down we go up. But yesterday it was totally a different way, which I really enjoyed, but just wanted to know the difference. Because from the top we are already clean, we are already fresh, but from down we have so many acquired things.
I'll tell you one nice interaction, and most those who are here know the Murli and Madhuban and teacher. So one question got asked: what's the difference between yogi and one who practices yoga? And the answer that was given, this was in Madhuban. Yogi is the one who goes from, he lives here and goes there. The one who is practicing yoga, he lives here and goes there. And yogi lives there and he comes here. So, one who practices yoga, and here Raj Yoga we are talking about, he feels this world is his world. This is his house, this is his town, this is family, this is all mine. And then he is going for 15 minutes to have yoga so that it will help his work, help his blood pressure, help his family. That's why he's going. That is practicing yoga. Yogi is the one who lives there. It is only the awake soul, the invisible presence, invisible soul, invisible traveler. He is awake. He feels that is his world, that is his home, that is his father, that is his family. Everything has changed. The paradigm is different. And he comes here as a guest, as a traveler. So it is nice, difference between practicing yoga. Practicing yoga is a necessary step. We go through that. We experiment with it. But then the nice jump, leapfrogging is this. Let the soul wake up. And the awake soul is a yogi. It is more natural for him. His life is with God. He belongs there. He is loved by God.